would you have beaten Pinson and Redgrave?
If I see one of those things coming down the actual race course, I'm going to explode like a car crash in the 80s action movie. I'm flip out. All right.
Nobody cared about the lightweight double until those drunk brothers showed up.
One question, Eric, for Eric. How much more sweet would your gold medal be if you knew that every other country put their best two guys in the pair and you whooped them all?
I'm Alex Del Sordo, and this is another Coaches Yelling, and we got a big one. I got a returning champion from down under, Olympic champion as well. I got Zach here back in. This is a packed up group of people here, and I got some really tough questions for him that I think is going to bring a lot of debate. So we're just going to get right into it. On my first introduction, Mike Wallin, the previous champion. Mike, the executive director of Chicago Rowing Foundation, a guy with very few words but packs a big punch in what he says. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to hear. All right. Next up, his first outing with us, sitting on his ass and still winning, as he put it. I got Eric Murray from New Zealand. Eric, welcome to the show.
Mate, it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to seeing what questions you're going to throw at us so that I can try and take these guys down again. It's nice being down under.
It's perfect. And your day is just starting here down under, right?
Mate, we're starting, and we're just coming, mate, the country's coming out of our lockdown slowly, and we're getting back into a little bit of normality. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be a bit happy this week as we roll through that. So it'll be nice.
I love it. You got to let us know how that goes for us Americans over here still in lockdown. Next up, you know, this goes without saying, but Olympic champion, two-time world champion, Kerry, welcome. Kerry Simmons, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad we're having this rematch with Eric because I think, honestly, all of us laid down last time and just kept complimenting him. I'm looking at you, Alex. We're ready to.
Can I not?
I know, well deserved. Yeah. But still,
welcome to the show, and good luck today. Last but not least, a very dear friend, someone that always brings a smile to my face. Zach Eberson of Eberson Erg Performance from South Jersey, not down under, South Jersey. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's great to be back on. I just want to say hi to Mr. Murray. It's great to even share the screen with you. I hope after this we can be friends. And I just wanted to say hello, or what you might say, Hawaii.
I told you he brings a smile on everyone's face. But look, we're going to get right into it. Now, listen, I forgot to mention, this is really important. If you like or dislike anything these people say or have an opinion about the questions, give us your comments, give us your feedbacks. We need this. And as I've stated the last couple episodes, we have good intentions here. We want to see the sport grow just like you do and everybody else. This is really important to us. If you like or dislike what they're saying, comment. We want to hear your feedback. Now, first question, we're going to bring Zach on. Zach, you know the rules. If I like what you say, thumbs up. If I don't like, thumbs down. Now, we've changed it since you've been on the last episode. We've lowered the time. You got about a minute and a half to answer the first question. Okay. So here we go. First question. Does coastal rowing have a place in our future as rowers? And what does it look like to you? You're on the clock.
Okay. So does coastal rowing, say the question again.
Does coastal rowing have a future in our sport, in our world here? Okay.
So what they taught me in law school was answer the question that's being asked. Does it have a future in our sport? No, it doesn't. It has its future in its own sport. Yes, we're both rowing, but it's completely different. Talk about, like, I would say the same thing with skiing in the Olympics. You have downhill skiing, you have cross-country skiing, you have moguls. Yeah, they're both skiing, but completely different. Now, please, I'm saying that as I'm not knocking coastal rowing. I think they're trying to have it in the next Olympics. I know in South Jersey we're trying to have a coastal rowing club. So I think it's a great sport and it has a great future. But should we meld them or make them the same and under the same umbrella? No, I don't think so.
Are there crossover athletes? I mean, it's the same style of rowing, just in the open water.
No, you're talking about Lamborghini drag racing compared to I don't know, the Baja of 4x4 racing. It's
I
completely
like the
different.
comparison.
Same, but different.
All right. Well, time's up there. All right. Zach, I thought you would have come out strong with this one because, we're both lifeguard rowers, and we know like the best lifeguard rowers were the guys that rowed in the boats, like the rowed on the courses. I thought you would have brought that up, man. And then you're silent. So now you got another chance later. We're going to bring in Kerry is next up. Kerry, we're going to bring her in. Kerry.
So I disagree with Zach here. I think
you're
they're more
already on.
related than
All right.
not.
Yep, go.
Oh, sorry. I know the question. We don't have to repeat it. You did it twice for Zach already. I kind of disagree. I think it's kind of almost like the marathon versus track and field. It's definitely less protected. There's more elements. There's turns, more than just around the track. I kind of would like to see a future in it related to us as a bigger kind of umbrella term rowing. I would like to see it be added to the Olympics. I think the limiting factor is location, geography.
Sure.
I think I would like to see it though with just one boat class. Just keep it simple. Let's have it be team effort. Have
And
two
what is
rowers
that?
in
What
the boat,
boat
no
class?
coxswain, just to keep that more simple on the Olympic level. And I think people would be engaged. You get kind of this extreme sport mentality where, there's buoys, there's boats you're bumping into. And with the technology of drone and commentating, I think that it could be really cool.
Does this hurt the strength of rowing? Because I think on a more popular basis, people will enjoy that more than our rowing.
I mean, our sport needs more exposure, so I kind of welcome it. I think already there's going to be changes to traditional rowing that need to happen. And so I think this is some way to be creative about getting more exposure, more racing. And you might see some crossover athletes.
All right. Yeah. Kerry, look, you brought the heat. Holy cow. I mean, not even letting me ask the question again. I love it. We're going to bring Eric in here. Eric down under. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. I'll repeat it just for sake of repeating it. Does coastal rowing have
Mate, us Kiwis do don't need to repeat it. I follow instructions really well. I think what we need to do is we need to stop calling it coastal rowing. It needs to be called open water rowing, because that's the fact is if we talk about it on coastal, you've got to be on the beach and all this sort of stuff. Can we do it on a lake that's really rough? Yep. What about a river? Yep. Can we add all those elements to it? The good thing is we're innovating with the sport. We're trying to find different ways to keep people in the sport. Agree with Kerry. This is a discipline of rowing, even though it's slightly different. Okay, so open water rowing. Creating the format is something like canoe slalom. They turn up and we go, you don't know the course that you're on today that you're going to race. You get one practice at it, then you go. So it is about finding those different things that we're doing. So yes, 100% there's a place for it. How does it look? Has it been rushed into trying to get it into the Olympics? Possibly. It's about location. It's about equipment. The other thing is it's standardizing, because you go to one of these things, it's like a sailing event at the Olympics. You turn up, everyone has the exact same boat and equipment, and then you just rig it the way that you do, and then it becomes the best person that's doing it. So all of a sudden, we don't have someone with extra cash to spend 50 grand on all the extras.
Time. But I got one last question there before we move on from you. Do you think that you would win in coastal rowing?
No, it's open, because it could be, the course could be 150 meters out and back, or it could be
Silence
500
him.
meters.
Got it. Oh, he admitted. He said he couldn't win it. Great. All right, Mike Wallin. I'm not going to repeat the question. Mike Wallin, you're on the clock.
I can't believe that I like this, but I do. I think there's a lot of positives that come with it. I think we've touched on a bunch. I like that there's not a lot of different boats, so it can be down to one event, like Kerry said. I think it brings easy access to sculling, easy access to rowing, as a transition for CrossFitters and other people who are just getting started. They can go pretty fast, pretty quick. That makes them like the sport. There's way more space out there, so you can race, 30 boats across potentially, which is much bit more efficient for your time and something cooler to watch. The spinning back and forth, I mean, it's more exciting. Do I think it's the same as rowing? Absolutely not. Do I want it a part of regattas? No. Like, if I see one of those things coming down the actual race course, I'm going to explode like a car crash in an 80s action movie. I'm flip out. All right. But could it be an alternative to lightweight rowing? Like, do I think it's more interesting than watching lightweight rowing? 100%. 100%. I would rather watch it over lightweight.
How do you get high school athletes involved in this?
I won't, but someone else will.
Oh, you just won't. Time. Holy cow. That's probably my favorite question asked to date so far. Yeah, actually really funny. And we're gonna wait to talk more about this on the coaches yelling format. We're gonna go back to Mike to start, okay? And Mike, the second question is gonna go to you now. How do we determine who the best rower is? How do we define best rower in the world, like a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan? You're on the clock.
There's two ways to do it, and I think either one would be cool. Either we do different distances at the Olympics. I mean, if you in track, the 100-meter dash amongst the athletes isn't as glorified as it is for the fans. So we would let the fans then pick what they like, and then I think the athletes would gravitate towards whatever the most popular event was. The idea I like better, and I've been saying for a couple of weeks now, is you make a main event. You have the single and the pair. You deliver the best sculler and the best port and the best starboard in the world. And then you set up the regatta that these guys can then row in the quad for their country and the 8 for their country. Then you set up like a triple crown situation within the Olympics. And you also set up these situations where you have that sculler and the pair. And then it's a debate between who's the best, LeBron, Durant, or Kawhi Leonard. You start getting conversations like that within rowing. That drives a lot of debate, brings a lot of attention, it brings a lot of controversy, and then people know these names and they can't wait to see these guys and these women row and compete against each other. They know they're the best, and they get to see them do it as individuals in a tandem.
Yeah, you know, I really like that. Unlike Michael Phelps, you see him once every 4 years, but with rowing, the World Championships, we could blow this thing up. You can get consistent storylines happening all the time. We're going to bring Eric in now. Eric from Down Under. How do you define the best rower? You're on the clock.
How do you define? It's a very individualized situation because, yes, you can take success and you look at different factors like their consistency or whether they have a breakout race. But the fact is that there's so many factors around it for individuals because you look at the relatability. Are you a person that's an 80 kg person trying to, like a middleweight rower? So you're going to pick a person like the Nathan Cohens or Joseph Sullivans of this world. I've used the New Zealand example, who were light, mid 80 kilograms, and you went, wow, they won. They don't necessarily need to be on a pedestal, but you have that admiration for them. So, no different than if you're a woman rower, probably in the US, you're looking at some of the US women's 8s, or you're looking at the scullers. So you sort of pick one person that you really like. So to find the best rower, it's really an individual choice. We do have some superstars that stand out. Why? Because of social factors. They've got good sponsorship. They've got great social media. You've got good publicity, all that type of thing around it.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know how much he answered that question. Leave it to the audience to feel what they think. Kerry is itching to come back on this camera right now. I'm not going to repeat the question. Kerry.
No, repeat the question,
okay.
Actually.
All right.
Right
She needs it. How do you define, or how do we define the best rower like a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan? You're on the clock.
So how we define it. Right now, if I were to define it, it would be off of the athlete that is the most adaptable and the most consistent. So for me, an example, Kimmy Crow, now she's Kim Brennan, won silver in the double in London, doubled up into the single and won bronze. And followed that up with a gold in Rio in the single. So to me, it is kind of going off of what both Eric and Mike have already been saying. Can we have a program that allows for more people to double? I'd love to see like the Sinkovich brothers go do the pair and then turn around and go do the double or maybe the singles. Because I think that really shows the grit of an athlete, how adaptable they are between boat classes. And so ultimately, that is how I would define the best rower. I definitely think we need to mix it up and allow like less athletes to compete and really test out their grit.
Time. I'm wondering, as I ask this question, does our sport really need a hero? Do we really need to know who the best athlete is? We all know Eric's great here. He's the number one guy here. We're going to bring in Zach. Now, Zach, I'm going to position you, before I start you with the clock, everyone so far has scored 8 points. You're at 4.
Don't tell me.
4? You need
Don't
4.
tell. Look, I've come back from worse. All right. I'm wearing.
Are you ready? Do you want me to repeat the question, or are you good?
I'm good because even though Kerry had to hear it this time, she was busting my balls last time, but she had to hear it twice. She had to
Here I go. You're on the clock.
Oh, we're on the clock. Okay. So it's not a question of who's best. It's a question, like you said, we need heroes Every hero needs a villain. It's all about storylines. Nobody cared about the lightweight double until those drunk brothers showed up. They were trash talking. They were cursing. That's what you need. You need the Babe Ruth. You need the guy. Doesn't matter if you're in single, 8-4, whatever. You need the guy that's going to call his shot, trash talk, and then produce. And then that's my guy. If you look at basketball, and like Tim Duncan, his nickname was Mr. Fundamental. He was boring. He was vanilla. And then you look at the scoreboard, and he's a Hall of Famer, 30 points, 15 How do you do that? Who cares? He was boring. You need people like me to ruffle some feathers, but then produce on the race course, and that's who the best rower is going to be.
Okay, time. Wow, you surged. You surged. After a word from our sponsors, I will tell you who moves on to the next round in Coaches Yelling. More from us here in a couple seconds. And we're back. So, Zach, late surge, incredible. 10 points, blew it out of the water, 6 points in one question. I got a three-way tie, first ever in Coaches Yelling history. I got a three-way tie with 8 points. And what we're going to do, we're going to take 30 seconds. I'm going to re-ask the second question. Each person is going to have 30 seconds to state their case. Who I think moves, I will determine who moves on, and we'll get right into Coaches Yelling. Again, if you have feedback or like or dislike anything that people have said, comment us. Give us your feedback. I'm going to go ladies first. Kerry, Olympic champion, two-time world champion. You have 30 seconds to state your case on how do you define the best rower. You're on the clock.
Yeah, so I'm going to follow on Zach's where he left off. I think relevant topic, Michael Jordan, if anyone's been watching that series, The Last Dance, he is the best athlete, hands down. It doesn't matter if he's playing the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys of NBA or not. He is going to be the best because he is just the best athlete and he's showing his skills. So how do we find the best rower? Define it. The one that can show their skills and allow a racing program that allows them to race as much as possible.
Time. Like that, show the skills. And Michael Jordan, yeah, I'm with you. So we'll go Eric, because Mike won last week. Eric, you got 30 seconds. How do you define the best rower? You're on the clock.
Well, first and foremost, you do have to have skills, because that when you got skills, your name gets out there. You know, if you're getting 5th and 6th in the race, no one gives a shit. But basically, a lot of it is about the person that you like and that you relate to. And that's what I talked about, that relatability, that admiration. Because if you like someone, you're going to follow them. You're going to follow their career. You're going to support them. You're going to cheer for them. And if you relate to them and you say, I would love to be that person, there's a little bit of like, I guess, that jealousy, or like, I really wish I was that person. No different than social media stars, movie stars. You want to be them.
Time.
We need that in the
relatability. That's a big thing, because the audience defines who the best athlete is. It might not necessarily be the one winning. We all know you can't be 5th or 6th. Fine. People don't give a shit about 5th or 6th. They care more about the winners. I get that. I wonder, though, did Eric have an arch nemesis? Did Eric Murray, as he was rowing, did he have someone he absolutely hated? I would love to know that answer. Mike Wallin, you're on. How do you define the best athlete in the sport?
I think I'm in an advantage spot here because I'm not the gold medal Olympian that these two are. You guys both won gold medals, and you don't know if you're the best rower in the world when you did it. We need to go down to a single and a pair and make it the main event. That gets every country on board. Every country can get one rower to be fast. It's not about numbers. It's not about depth at that point. It's about a star. When we have a star, we can determine it. A small boat is the most tangible way to prove your individual contribution to speed. Main event, then triple crown at the rest of the Olympics.
Time. Damn. I kind of want to give it to Eric just because, and Mike, well, Mike won that one. I kind of want to give it to Eric just because Kerry's feeding off of the great communicator that Zach is. So listen, Kerry, if you hate me, I'm sorry. They're moving on. The boys are moving on. All right. So the next round, they've made it. Eric got freaking lucky. Just listen, I'll tell you, I'm biased. I like the guy. Kerry, I think you're awesome, but I just like the guy. Now, the way this next round works is coaches yelling. So everyone, we're going to bring in Zach, Mike, and Eric, and we're going to be discussing, again, the original points made to question 1 and 2. And just for the audience watching or listening, does coastal rowing have a future in our sport, and what is it? And the second question is, how do you define the best athlete in our sport, the best rower in our sport? You guys know the deal. You're on the clock in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right,
It's going to be called open rowing.
One question, Eric, for Eric. How much more sweet would your gold medal be if you knew that every other country put their best 2 guys in the pair and you whoop them all? How much more would it mean?
Don't answer that. Eric. Don't answer that.
Come on, you know it would be way better. You would
They did a lot. They did along the way, and we kicked all their asses. So that settles that score.
Listen, I love in question 1 we were talking about open water rowing. Everyone said, yeah, it has a place, but I don't want it on my race course. But I want it over here. But I want it. It's like, no, it's same, but different. Yes, it has its place, but it's not with us. You said it yourself.
Yeah, but it's like the 1,500 meters compared to the 10K. It's on the track. It's the same thing. Rowing can be on the same course. We're still sitting on our ass going backwards and forwards. And it is like, are people going to watch it? If it's 2 or 3 minutes long, I'd rather watch that than watch a race going, oh, okay, here they come, 1,500, 1,000.
We're doing open water.
You see them only for the last 40 seconds and go,
if we do open water racing.
One thing I do like about coastal rowing is it's going to bring in a potential
I like to see
different athlete.
surfboat racing, Murray.
I'm tired of seeing the same guy row 2K, though. The coastal rowing might bring in a different looking athlete.
That's it. Change the course. Do different things with it. Go, right, we're only going to like be a minute out and back real fast. And then you got a different body type, a different shape. Or you make it a little bit longer. You make a big bloody circle, and people have to go around it in opposite ways.
A sprinter and a distance runner in track.
So then Mike and
Eric, quiet. Mike and Eric, quiet. Zach, you got an extra 10 seconds. Go ahead. Give us.
Thank you. So then make it surfboat racing, because if you want excitement and if you want demolition derby, put them in the surf. I know from experience, the men's is the exact same as the women's because people love carnage. The girls, at least out here, don't know how to ride a wave in. So it is just limbs and oars, and people love it. And sex sells. Put them in bikinis, put the guys in the Birdie Man suits, and we're going to go to the Olympics.
It is, though, but that's it. But you're talking about TV, right? You know, you're talking about people want to watch it for certain reasons. And that's what, if you can turn it into that. But if you're limited by going to the coast, what are half of you people going to do in the middle of America? You're stuck in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and you're just sort of like,
big
what do
legs.
you do?
We got
We
the
get a
Great
big
Lakes.
lake.
We got
But that's what I mean. So it's got to be called open water, so you can do it in the lake in a pond.
You're right. Because I want to go to Oak Ridge, Tennessee instead of Miami, Florida. Yeah, I want to go to Cincinnati instead of Bermuda. You're right.
All right, we're going to give Mike 20 seconds on the clock here. Mike, go ahead.
I don't have much to add. I think it's true. I'd way rather go to a place like Zach's saying. I want to go to a better place on the coast.
All right, so we all agree there's a future in it. Let's get back to this hero situation, all right? Mike, you open it up with Eric asking that question. I want to know who the hero is or the villains. I want to know who the best athlete is. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it was Murray and Bond when they were rowing that pair, but I also think it would be even cooler and they'd be even more famous and more of a celebrity if it was forced that everybody had to race. Imagine, I just think, in the Redgrave pin set 4 days, whoever was rowing the pair in the 8 wasn't racing the best guys. And I think in this situation, whoever wasn't rowing the pair against these guys wasn't rowing the best guys.
And that's a great point. That is a great point about pushing people and saying, right, this regatta, do we have one where you go to a World Cup? Okay, we have the silver skiff and things like that. And you go, guess what? Everyone's racing in the single at this regatta at fucking Lucerne. And so we
Shouldn't
go
that
there.
be the Olympics, though?
Well, yeah. Yes and no. I don't know, because the problem is with the Olympics is we're stuck on history. We do the same shit we've done the whole time. Okay, we're dropping all the stuff we think's rubbish. But the fact is, if you want to find the best person, you've got to put it in a situation where they all go, but what is it? Is it the best person over long distance, 2K? We've got to classify it. You know what I mean? It's like, because some people like
2K.
Zach, what are you thinking, man?
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking just from people talking about who's the best and who's their favorite. you're really splitting hairs who's the best, because it is on that day. You know, everyone has basically the same scores. When you're at that level, it's the same scores, it's the same whatever. It's who can you relate to, you know, LeBron and Kawhi Leonard, who cares who's the best? Jordan, all right, whatever. It's who do you like? LeBron sucks because I don't like him. You need people to back up. You know, you need someone to say in the USA boat, yeah, I don't like that dude in the British boat. You know, he talked trash. You know, I was at
I think they're going to like the guy who wins. So we got to race them so we see who wins. Yeah, that's the point. These guys are the best in the world. These women are the best in the world. They have the same scores. They all row well.
Time. I got one question for Eric before we go to commercial break. Would you have beaten Pinsent and Redgrave in your prime?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have smoked.
Different eras, but you know, and that's the problem is you got to go different boats better, training better. Yes, like to be fair, one point. If you took Rob Waddell and put him in the environments that we've got now, you'd have another Ollie Zeidler. Ollie Zeidler should be our superstar for the next 10, 12 years because he is a freak.
All right, time. All right. After our word from our sponsors, we're going to get into who won the face-off, who's going to win in the face-off. Thanks for watching so far. And we're back. Now, at the commercial break, we've been struggling. I don't know how to ask a third question or even start a showdown here. And for those watching or listening, we want your feedback. We want your audience questions. We want to know if you disagree or agree with these folks. But I had to bring Kerry in, who sat there patiently for 7 minutes watching. Now, Kerry, I got to ask you the question. I need some direction here. Do we use or have a third question here for a showdown?
You know, I think after watching that go down, we've reached our peak on this, that I don't see a follow-up third question right now.
So then it's up to me to crown a winner then, is what you're saying.
It's up to you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is hard because I don't want people to be angry at me or like I lose friendships. Like I care deeply about how you guys think of me. But I'm going with, he's never won. He won today. Zach Eberson is the winner of the Coaches Yelling. I'm very happy and very proud of this. Mike, listen, you crushed it last week. You've gotten 2 victories. Eric, day 1 wins on his first go around. Zach has, oh, go Eagles. Yeah, fly Eagles, fly. Zach was with us the first episode, lost miserably, came in for a victory today. But we're going to go around the horn here for closing arguments and discussion. Kerry, we'll start with you. 4th place today. How you feeling?
Yeah, no, congrats, Zach. I think you had probably the more abstract arguments, which kudos, it paid off today. So good work, everyone. I think there was some good competition on this episode.
This is a great one. Now, a 3rd place finish, Eric Murray from New Zealand. Eric, 3rd place. How you feeling being part of your 2nd episode with us today?
Oh, mate, it's great. You know, it's awesome to have that debate. And when you're sitting here listening and you actually go, I didn't think about that side of the argument. And then when Zach comes out, you're just like, holy shit, I didn't think about that either. So it is good. And I think it's just nice and constructive and you just get people's opinions because rowers, what should we say, typical to go to the pub after a regatta and literally just try and solve all the problems of rowing. Isn't that what we do? And we socialize, we drink beers and we go, oh, imagine if we did this, imagine if we did that. And so this is a great environment to actually be able to do that.
Well, hey, great job today. A 1st place finish for you, 3rd place today. Mike Wallin, 2nd place, silver medalist. I know you're beating up on this one, but how you feeling today?
It was good. I couldn't agree more with what Eric said. That's always what it feels like when we're on the show. It feels like it's what after regattas or after practice, what athletes and coaches are actually talking about and, just arguing about. So it's great to do it and let people see it. And I think that's why the show's popular. And congrats to Zach. Comeback kid today, was in last place. Finished last on his other appearance. So way to rise up and take it, buddy.
Everyone loves a comeback. Hey, Zach, the founder of Eberson Erg Performance, riding high on a 1st place finish. Man, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. Kerry, thank you for the backhanded comment that my arguments worked today. Wallin, I wore the skin tight shirt for you, bud, but you didn't match it today. I have the plunging V and everything. And Mr. Murray, I can't believe I can finally tell my kids that I beat one of the best rowers in the world. So I'm as sound as a pound right now.
What a way to close it out. Listen, this is a little bit unorthodox, but when you have a great group of people discussing and arguing a topic or a couple, sometimes you got to cut it short because you want to ride high. And we finished on a high note today. Zach Eberson, first place finish. This is another episode of Coaches Yelling. If you agree or disagree or want to learn more about it, contact us. You're going to see us on YouTube, on Instagram, all over the place. And I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.